Yo, what's up guys, it's Jack and welcome back to another video. And first I must apologize for the footage in this gameplay and a little bit in the next gameplay being cut a little short. This one I had to cut short simply because the footage got damaged somehow. I was just skipping all over the place and it just wasn't captured correctly for some reason. Sometimes these things happen and I wasn't going to torture you guys with that. I mean, hell, it kind of hurt my eyes to watch, to be honest. And the second one, because I guess I didn't start recording until I was about 8 or 9 kills in by accident or something like that. So again, I apologize, but both of the gameplays are good, and you know, there's plenty of content. So anyway, on to the nitty-gritty of today's video, and that is that the next game has been pretty much according to 8 Thoughts and everything that he put together in his video. And I'm going to leave the video down in the description below. In case you guys haven't seen already. He's a big enough YouTuber where the chances are you guys probably have seen it, but at the same time, maybe you haven't. But it appears that the next game has been hinted at by Vahn through Twitter by a unusual Twitter message. And again, I'll leave the link in the video. I'll leave a link to the video in the description below so you can see everything for yourselves. But I actually, before this tweet was eventually removed, I actually saw it briefly when it was live, but I didn't think anything of it. I thought it was kind of strange, a little bit weird, but at the same time, sometimes, you know, respectfully speaking, sometimes developers can be purposely weird on Twitter, just because they like to troll, and then sometimes they like to leave hints. And they don't want it to be known that they're leaving a hint, but sometimes some of us YouTubers really get into it, and we kind of decode these hidden messages that sometimes these developers hint at us. And apparently, Vahn tweeted out, or basically hinted at the next game being Black Ops 4. Now, it's pretty much been confirmed that, or Black Ops something, but it's been pretty much confirmed that the next game and the game after that's going to be made by Infinity Ward are definitely going to be boots on the ground. And one thing that I can say is that if the next game that Treyarch makes, the next Black Ops game, or whatever it's going to be called, even if it's not titled Black Ops, but according to 8 Thoughts, it is going to be some sort of Black Ops game. It's going to have Black Ops in the title. If it plays very similar to Black Ops 2, then I could tell you without a shadow of a doubt that there's definitely good things to be had on this channel. Because out of all the Call of Duty games I played, Black Ops 2 is not only my favorite, but it's the one that I've said many times before, it's where I learned to play Call of Duty correctly. And it's also the Call of Duty that I still play a lot till this day, because I just absolutely love the way it feels. And out of all the Call of Duties, I don't really think too highly of myself when it comes to you know, my gameplay and quote unquote skill, or whatever that means for a pub player in Call of Duty, but I can say that I'm pretty damn decent at Black Ops 2. So if the next game plays similarly and is designed in a similar way, then man, it's gonna give me that desire to keep wanting to play the game, just like I used to when this game originally was in its life cycle, as I was making the transition to becoming a better player. And just with that alone, it's kind of motivating. It makes you want to get on and play just so you could be prepared for the next iteration to come around. And it actually surprised me that Vahn kind of hinted at this so early on. Maybe he wasn't expecting somebody to decode it or figure it out or whatnot, or I don't know, because usually they don't start hinting at anything until usually March or April at the earliest, and then usually May or late April is when we get the official teaser trailer, usually, in terms of the pattern that these guys follow every single year. So for them to tease something this early is kind of shocking, but hey, I'm not complaining. Are you kidding me? There's been so much speculation inside our community on whether it's going to be a Black Ops game or whatever it is. I mean, people are already talking about COD 2018 at this point. As a matter of fact, even for a small guy like me, the videos that I've made over the last few weeks talking about the next Call of Duty or Call of Duty 2018 or Black Ops 4 or whatever you want to call it, just the next Treyarch game, any single time I make a video talking about that, my views are higher than usual. And a lot of that is simply because of the fact that the community is interested. Every single one of us is pretty much interested in the fact that the next is interested about the next Call of Duty game that Treyarch's going to be making. And again, like I said before in previous videos, to some of us, Treyarch is the only Call of Duty developer. Like, there are players out there that won't try anything else other than what Treyarch makes. Granted, that's not a majority of the fan base, but there's a lot of passionate fans out there. There's a good amount, even though it's a smaller amount, it's still a good amount of people that just prefer Treyarch and Treyarch only. And you know, I can kind of see where they're getting at and where they're coming from, and I can respect that. But I think that whatever success that Call of Duty World War II brings, whether it's financial or whatever it is in the future, honestly speaking, simply because of the reputation that Treyarch has of being really, really good Call of Duty developers and what they've shown us over the last 10-ish years or so, or almost 10 years, that and the hype alone, and the fact that we already know that so many people are interested in the next game way before it comes out at this point, I think that Treyarch is really going to break some records next year, honestly, and in terms of sales, in terms of popularity, and even in terms of fun factor, which is what games should be about in the first place. And like I've mentioned previously about other Call of Duty games, I don't expect the game to be perfect, but I expect it to be legit. I expect it to be good. So there's a lot to look forward to next year. So, and I thought it was really kind of clever in terms of how Vahn kind of tweeted this out without being like, it was just something random out of nowhere. It was basically a bowl of cereal in a few sentences, but how 8 Thoughts pretty much decoded this whole thing or whatnot is really unique. I mean, there is a possibility that this could all be bullshit, but I don't know. I don't think so. And at the same time, we all know how developers and Vahn isn't the only one that also likes to every once in a while troll on Twitter. I mean, there's a lot of people that do that. Period. A lot of developers like to do that, and at the same time, they like to give out hints. And when they're asked questions, they may not directly answer, but at the same time, they do answer without being direct, if that makes any sense. So they just like the community loves to have fun with with the developers and make speculations and even politely joke around with them and make videos about them or whatnot. I'm pretty sure it works both ways. I'm sure the door swings both ways on this, and the developers obviously like having fun with the fan base, which is great. Because it's a healthy relationship, and there's some sort of communication that goes back and forth. You know, I mean, I can understand that there's definitely many reasons of why they can't just say, hey, our game is this next year, and this is what we've been working on or whatnot. And you know, you gotta save it for the reveal, and at the same time, you got to be respectful to the guys that are basically in the life cycle right now, which is obviously Sledgehammer. So every single one of the Call of Duty developers, you know, they do that. I remember a while back ago there was a tweet, somebody asking about the next Call of Duty way earlier on, and one of the developers that they were tweeting at actually answered them and said, "Stay tuned, be patient, but right now, you know, it's not time for this iteration right now. It's the time for the iteration that's currently at hand." So basically what they're saying is, you know, like, let's say, you know, this is Call of Duty Ghost time. It's we can't talk about the next game yet. So be patient and let's try to be respectful. So this is another reason why I thought it was just so shocking for something like this to kind of be hinted at this early. But one thing I can guarantee is, because the developers know that there are passionate fans out there. They know that there's people that are going to be making YouTube videos about it and trying to decode everything, right? But one thing is for certain, and that is that we're not going to hear any more hints for a while now. I think it's going to be anywhere from, let's say, the time that... I'd say it's going to be anywhere between let's say March to mid-March or March, April, May time when we're going to get another hint. Obviously, May or late April, early May is when we're probably going to get the teaser trailer reveal, and which obviously things are going to be probably leaked and talked about even before then. And it is around the 6-month period to where, you know, fans really start to eagerly anticipate the next game, especially if it's from Treyarch at this point. So yeah, but I saw the video that 8 Thoughts put up yesterday or the day before or whatnot, and I knew that it had to be the title of this next video because, well, when a developer hints out at something like that, you know, you can't help but talk about it. And when I saw an 8 Thoughts video, I'm like, hey, I'm making a video about this. So I'm going to leave his video down in the link in the description below, and let me know what you think. Or do you think it's just all bullshit, and do you think Vahn is trolling? And as always, guys, I hope you enjoyed the gameplay and the commentary. And if you did, let me know. And if you didn't, let me know what I can do to make my videos better. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.